Yes.
Wrong.
No, I really think it's a very good team. I was unbelievably impressed watching film. Everybody has an incredibly hard time guarding them because they can spread the floor in so many positions, and really good athletic players that can shoot the three right in your face with not much room. But I'm so much more impressed in how they can just pull up. Not very many female athletes can go too hard dribbles and pull up and look.
They're really good on the baseline.
Yeah, drives and yeah. So we knew it would have to be. I think it starts defensively. If the fact that we held that team to 56 points, I think is the start and end of the game. But really, I thought we did a tremendous job on ball defense and early help, and kind of got them a little bit out of rhythm. Their two top players, I think, usually average about 32 points, and we held them to 19. So that's a great thing. I am thrilled about our offensive execution. Tweaked the lineup a little bit. Kind of because you can get away with playing four guards, and I hadn't done it much, and it's probably my mistake all along, especially in this league. We played a lot of very traditional teams in the non-conference schedule that had two bigs, and you had to go with two bigs and couldn't afford to play four guards, and there's no reason we can't. Dee Dee's unbelievably effective when she can catch at the high post with having not used her dribble. She's a much better passer in the high-low game from there, and clearly she can rip drive and get to the rim and create a basket for herself. So I just thought moving her around a little bit made it much more difficult for teams to sit on her, and it made her be a little bit more aggressive versus sitting back and shooting threes and jumpers. So, and I do think we got a much better high-low game where we could be effective, using and getting the ball to Steph in really good spots on the floor.
I thought the first half, there was a point with about 13 minutes left that I thought to myself, oh, here we go. This
Yeah.
is going to be Eastern Washington's time to spread this thing out and get some breathing room. And it was 18-10 with 10:06 left. And I thought your kids at that point, I don't know if it was a mental thing, but it's like, no. And, within 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, it was 18-18. I thought that was a crucial time to be able to do that and go ahead and scrape their way, to being down by 1.5.
Yeah.
When it really could have been a lot more. And that really, I don't know what that did to it. Maybe changed your halftime approach. But then that had to be huge mentally at that point.
Well, it just shows a lot of growth, I think, in this team. And I said to the team before, I really felt like we were on the verge of turning the corner. I do feel like we are maybe even better than our record shows. You can't really say that, and I say that every day too. Like, you are what you are. So we're 3-3, and that's as good as we are right now. But I like the fact that we can play different lineups, that we can play bigger, we can play smaller. You have a post presence that can really put up numbers. So I just have felt that our team was on the verge. I thought we made some critical defensive mistakes that I keep continuing to think that we're cleaning up and doing better on that end. And it was just a matter of offense catching up a little bit. And even against their matchup zone, it just really kind of freaked us out a little bit. We tried to really spread the floor and make some cuts, and we weren't very good at it at the start. And obviously we got down 18-10 and looked very, very unorganized. But just in timeouts, really told them to just be calm and to continue to cut, and not. A lot of times our mistake was we would cut and finish on the other side of the court outside the three-point line. And when we stopped doing that and kind of cut and found openings at the high post, then all of a sudden we got easy looks. Not just high-low looks with Steph, but Kylie wide open on 2 threes that I think in that stretch we got back into the game. So, we're getting better IQ of how to play, I think, without making calls all the time, which I think is a step in the right direction for a team. You have to be able to do that because people are going to take away your plays.
You praised the defense, which is obvious, and they were able to play defense without putting teams on the line. There was only 11 free throws shot in the whole game, and Eastern Washington shot 5. That makes a hell of a difference when it's not somebody shooting 34 free throws in a game. So your kids were playing defense without having to be overly physical, maybe.
Right. I don't know, and it's strange because I think this team is really hard to guard, maybe even harder to guard than North Dakota, and just with their ability to shoot it and drive it. So, I mean, we'll see how that plays out, but it's another thing that we talked to the team about. Like, you know, it's just really hard to beat a team if they get 31 free throws. You can make a lot of twos and a lot of threes to try to make up for it, but when they're standing there making free throws, it's hard to make enough points to cover that. So it's just got to be a conscious effort. I loved our on-ball defense. I loved our help. I thought we guarded without fouling for the most part, and you know, let's just hope we're making strides in that area too.
How big is part 2 of this test on how you perform on Saturday? Take a little bit of
Yeah, I mean, Jason asked me that before the game. I mean, it's not a must-win. I mean, the only must-wins that you really feel like when you're our level is the Big Sky tournament. You know, the one that wins those games 3 in a row. That's the one that gets. Those are the must-wins if you want to advance. So you got to get there, and you want a good seed, and you'd love to host. I mean, there's a million reasons why, but it's obvious, and it's no surprise. Our team is well aware that we dropped 2 home games already in our conference season, so we're already facing an uphill battle. We're going to have to go on the road and try to scrape out some wins and put together a winning streak. I mean, but it only happens one at a time, and we dealt with tonight, and we're going to be up at 6 in the morning, and we're going to practice early, and we're going to get ready for Idaho, and I know the team is excited about that, and it's a good team, another good team, completely different style, completely different matchup, but the good news is that we still play the same defense, and so if we're consistent in how we teach and learn and run our stuff, we should be in good shape to guard whoever walks in the door, and then it just is a matter of how much better we're getting offensively.
That's all I have. Nice win.
Thanks, Sam.
After being at home for 2 games and getting a little bit of a confidence boost in this game, do you hope to carry that when you go on the road?
Yeah. Well, let's deal with Saturday first. That's a big one, but it's hard to. I'm really hard on my team, and if they make 20 mistakes, I'm going to probably count all 20 of them. But I like this team, and I like our disposition. I like our competitiveness. I like how we've responded on the road. I think we've played pretty well on the road. I think we got great leadership, and they focus the team, and so I'm not afraid of the road, and I think the way we play, is conducive to playing well on the road. I think we've grown and that we can take this on the road and play well. We haven't proven that we win at home very much, so every night is a challenge. There's so many good coaches in this league, and we're all about even in the league. I feel like anybody can win on any given night or lose. So it's just a matter of how many players you have that show up. And again, we got to continue to get more production, and I got to play more people and all of that. But I like our disposition and how they'll come in and they'll want to get better tomorrow, and they'll want to compete against Idaho and win at home, and then we'll be excited to go on the road.
You didn't quite hit that 70 mark that you're talking about.
But we got the 60 that gets the wings, right?
Is that still a goal for your game against Idaho?
It is. I mean, again, it's a magic number. It's just a magic number in my mind that I think usually if you can get to 70, you're going to win most games. We didn't need it tonight, but good teams get to 70, and that's we still have to. We have 2 people in double digits now. Kylie's right there behind it, but we still got to find 2, 3, and 4 people that can get to double digits for us, and that would get us to 70 or close to it or a little bit over it. And against really good teams, especially on the road, when you might not get calls or you might send them at the line a little bit more, you got to get that offensive number production up. But the good news is it's good to rely on defense when the ball doesn't go in the basket.
So by now everyone knows he's definitely into charge training, but how do you plan on getting Kylie Heiser and some of the bench players more involved in the play?
Well, the better those 2 are, the more opportunities everybody else will get. And it's a very unselfish team. You have Lindsay. Lindsay's doing perfect. Lindsay's doing everything I want her to do. I mean, she ends up with 5 points and 6 assists. I mean, I might want to strangle her for a couple of turnovers that she had, but other than that, she is giving us the exact leadership that we need. You know, I still need bench players. I need to get some production out of Courtney, who's another shooter that can come off the bench. I just felt like the game was a little too fast tonight. She wasn't very comfortable there. But you know, I think over the last few games, Becca's played more in some games. She didn't get minutes tonight, but she's given us 5 to 6 minutes. I don't think there's anybody on our team that's going to go from 5 points to 10 points to 12 points. I just think, you know, we've got to shoot a good percentage every night we play, and we did tonight. 26, we're shooting 47%. So whoever's getting those shots, it looks like a pretty good night for us. The problem we have is when we shoot 33%. And Steph and Dee Dee are great, and they're fine, but everybody else on our team is like 2 for 19. So those are we got to get quality looks in what we're doing, but I do feel better about our offensive execution tonight, and I think we can build on some of the new things that we put in, Dee Dee in the 4 spot, that I think freed up some other looks for other players tonight.